Okay. We're live now.
But you have the music on,
I do.
and there's something blocking my face.
What do you mean there's something blocking your face?
Well, doesn't it say like sip and trip or?
Oh, no, I don't have it set up that way.
Oh. So it's just blank?
No, I got the shot of your succulent or your wreath.
Oh, all right.
And then the grab a drink is... Up there we are. Got two watching. Brian's here and Marianne Bortman. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and cue up the intro. There you are, bud.
All right. Hey, everybody. What's going on?
Oh, we got a whole bunch of them with us.
Oh, boy.
You want me to rattle them off?
Sure.
We got Brian, Marianne Bortman, Carol Sue Motes is here. John Sacchetti is watching.
Oh, John's always watching.
Jen Estes says, cheers.
Yeah.
Angie Rosengren, hey, y'all. Jean Schutz is watching. John says, good evening. Michelle Gillette is watching. Vicki Horton says, good evening. Hi, Vicki. Terry Rogers is watching. And I think that's all we got. Well, we got 22. So
Wow.
Those are the ones that are showing up on my screen.
So do they reply? That's how you know they're watching or no?
Some of them are giving me replies. Yeah. Chris Morgan says, hey, bud. And then, oh, guess what? We got Stuart. And he says,
Great.
Thup, Doc said I had to be here, so I'm on my second wee dram. Of course.
Just like a thorn in my ass, Stuart's there.
So I think that's it right now.
Awesome.
Yep.
Oh, it was a tough day today, and I don't know how the technology is working because we've been fighting the technology for the last couple hours. So
Yeah.
hopefully this will be okay. We're not sure exactly what's the matter, but that's the name of the game. It seems like there's always something happening somewhere.
Right.
Nothing ever runs perfectly smooth, even when you test drive it. No, this week was nice. We had a lot of nice sunny days. It was fun. I got to go out and work with the guys. We trimmed trees downtown Sterling. I was a little disheartened with all the trash that was in the downtown that we're going to be working on picking up this week, and that is just a little depressing that there's trash cans there and people just throw the stuff down. It's not fun. It doesn't make it. Plus, some of the damage from the winter snow plows and stuff that did some of the landscape too is kind of frustrating. And that we take a lot of pride in what we do. So, and our search for employment has been an interesting experience this week. If I get a couple more kids from Newman, I'll have a football team. So, and I think it's going to work out good. I just wished the teachers would let them out of school now so they could start working right now. But that isn't happening. Most of the kids are in football or in track and that, but I think it's going to work out really good to help Quinn and Jay. So that's been going on. And today, my day started off kind of a little rough. I went to look at a landscape from a family friend of ours and I was talking with her, and I just happened to say something about her husband, and she kind of looked at me and she said, well, he passed away in September, and I had no clue. And it was real upsetting because he was really a nice guy. I just liked them both. And the last time I was over there and we were discussing landscapes, we sat down and had some beer. So it wasn't this last year, it was prior to that, because we sat down and had some beer and talked, and her mom and dad were always here at our house. Her dad, especially on the weekends, usually draining the keg my dad had in the beer garden. Ned was here doing that. So anyway, and we worked in the greenhouse some this week. I did some more pinching and that. You saw a video that I showed you, and I'll be doing that again this Wednesday. I'm not sure what I'll show you this week, but I'll show you something different. There are going to be some plants coming in, and maybe I'll show you how the perennials come in and you know, what we do with them and things like that, or some more pinching on certain plants, because I can't believe how this stuff is growing. This sun has been really good.
Hey, we've got a gentleman from Nashville watching.
Oh, that must be Rude.
Yes, it is.
That's got to be relation to
Yes.
Diane and Al. I think it's their son. I think that's who that is.
Yep.
He was on last week.
Ah, I see.
Because I saw Diane say hi to him, and I go, that's got to be. Especially with the last name Rude. Maybe it's not a son, maybe it's a nephew or something.
relative.
But anyway, what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to show you how to make. We took some cuttings and stuff last week and trimmed up a few plants and things like that. So I'm going to show you what you can do with those cuttings. Now, this isn't the only thing you can do with the cuttings. This is I don't know which camera you got it on, Lisa.
I can put it on whatever you want.
Well, I'll pick this up. This is the wreath. It's a moss wreath that I wrapped with moss and has soil in the middle. This is what it looked like prior. It was just a wreath frame, and I wrapped sheet moss around it and put some soil in this cavity here, and then I take wire and wrap it around. And I think you do have a picture, don't you, of what it looks like?
Well, if you want me to show that.
No, not yet. I mean, we'll show you
that
what it'll look like. So, and what I've got is I've got these cuttings. This is neonium. And what I'm going to do is put my glasses on so I can see. And I'm going to take my trusty pruners here and just kind of cut this off. And what I do is I'll take this expensive tool and I'm going to show you how to do this in this wreath. Maybe I will. Don't be afraid to have a little force with it or say a few swear words as you're doing it. I do all the time. So then I just take the cutting and just kind of stick it in there like that. And what I do to hold these in a little bit, and you don't necessarily have to do this, but I like to do it, is I have these florist pins. And I just kind of pin it like that so it holds it. And what I'm going to do is, normally I don't do it this way, but I'm just going to take these and go around this wreath and put them in certain spots with these big cuttings. I did a wreath. I'll show you. I have a finished product, and I will show it to you, when we get done.
That was a little bumpy.
One of the things that, if anybody has any questions while I'm doing this too, because I'm kind of not talking a lot.
I'll keep an eye.
I was out and got several landscape measurements this week, so I've got to sit down and do some drawings. So I don't get behind, because it's only going to get busier. Try to you have to wear many hats sometimes when it gets busy. But you can see that,
That's nice.
I've got those cuttings. Then I can take some of I don't remember what this one is.
That's a Pachyvaria.
Pachyvaria. All right. And I'll put some of those in too. And you can just do it so you just have a little stem like that. That's all it takes. Believe me, when Lisa shows you this picture, boy, I don't know why this is so hard to poke a hole in this thing. Oops, I probably shouldn't.
Jen's got a question.
Jen,
Estes, she said, how did you store the cuttings beforehand?
well, Jen, let me tell you something. Some of these cuttings have been sitting in this tray I have here for 2 months. There's really no like rule of thumb for storing them. I mean, I had them in the literally in the greenhouse, sitting in the flat. Some of them were new because I took them last week and that, and some of them are new that I took just today. But they're very forgiving. Sometimes if you let them sit too long, they don't look good. They really don't, and you can't use them. But most of the time they're really good. And heck, some of them had super. See if I can find a couple in here.
I've got a couple more questions. I'm going to put them up while you do that, okay?
All right. Well, like this. See the roots? Some of them lay in the flat, and they just start sending roots out. So anyway.
So Jen's question was, how did you store the cuttings? We do let them harden off. And
You can.
Mary Ann wants to know, where do you get the florist pins?
Where do you get the from a florist?
Well, how? We have some florist pins, Mary Ann, if you want to try this at home. And then next one, Amber Lester asks, do you have soil in that?
Yes. Not a lot, but there is some soil in there. It's sheet moss. I should have brought a piece of the sheet moss, because the sheet moss is really cool because it's like in a big sheet like that, and then I lay it. Can you go to the other camera, big camera, Lee?
Yep.
I lay the sheet moss under the frame like this, and then I put the soil in there, and then you can wrap it around, and you just keep wrapping your paddle wire around it. I suppose if I would have been, it would have been pretty much of a mess here at our house to try to do it, but I should have brought a piece of sheet moss, but it's pretty easy to do. And this is a 10-inch frame, and this thing will probably end up being about 12 to 14 inches around by the time I get done with it.
Jennifer made this is why we did this one, Jennifer Nowacki says, thanks for the great idea. I have so many babies to do something with, and that is exactly the purpose of this, because a lot of times, last week we were talking about how some of your succulents, after being overwintered, are a little leggy and you got to give them a haircut, and then what do you do with all of those cuttings? And this is one way to recycle or just make more plants.
Exactly. And I was down at Becky Murray's Massage Works this week, and that's exactly what the problem with her stuff is. Some of it was the watering. There wasn't any drainage, but it was the Pachyvaria that she had really stretched. It mustn't have been near enough light in that window. I think she has an awning on the front of it if it stayed there. But I just kind of worked my way around with some of the same cuttings. Now this is, I don't think this is California Sunset. This is really a cool one. I don't know if they saw that or not.
It's working out. Or I'm going to put you in a little bubble so you shoot up on your close-up. There you are, bud.
Gee,
Vicki Horton, she wants to know, where do you get the sheet moss?
I mean, I can order.
We have sheet moss that we can pack up for you, Vicki. We get it in bulk. And, before all this pandemic stuff, we were selling moss individually packaged. So we don't have it online, but if you just shoot us a message, we'll definitely fix you up with some sheet moss.
Yep.
Hey, Pat says hi, Bud and Lisa. Hey, Pat.
Pat Krebs?
Yep.
Hi, Pat. But I'm doing it different than I normally do. Normally I just start filling it in and working my way around, but I'm just kind of adding each one of these things as I go. One of the things that I had today is we had some tags ordered. And this is interesting. The reason I'm going to tell the story is how this pandemic has not only affected, I guess you really wouldn't think that it would affect a company that has tags for plants. But I finally was able to get a hold of somebody after the third attempt to find out where my tags were for the plants that we ordered. And normally I get the stuff right away. I mean, there isn't any big deal in getting, some of the tags. And the lady explained to me that because of the pandemic, two other competitor companies went out of business. So all those people came to their company wanting tags for plants. And she explained to me that their business, their type of work, they can't just hire somebody off the street to do it because of the programming. It takes about 6 months worth of training to do this, and they were just caught off guard. And I understood completely. I just told her my main concern was I just wanted to know, because I ordered online and I don't normally do that. I like to call. But
Hey, you got a couple questions.
anyway, let me just finish real quick and then I will.
Sure.
Anyway, she explained it to me and it all worked out. The tags came today and so I'm happy.
All right. Question on pins. Amber Lester asks, do pins ever damage the succulents? And then she goes on to ask, Michelle Gillette asks, are you going around the plant when poking pins or poking through the plant?
I kind of go like this.
Just to gently nestle it in.
Yep.
So-
Sometimes when I used to have hen and chicks, I'd go right through them and it wouldn't bother them. But it doesn't seem to really bother these things that much. Because Lisa will show you the picture of the wreath I did last year. And
yeah, maybe I'll try to put that up while... Well, you have the one, the example that you have now.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show them that and then we can show them the other one.
Sure.
And then look at these little babies.
Little Haworthias.
Yep. And it's got a little root on it, so I'm going to try to get that down in the hole over here. I'll put that one right in here. And they make inserts. We don't have them, but I know you can get inserts for these wreaths that you can put that you could put candles in. And so if you wanted to put like it's just a round insert you could press in and then you could put a tapered candle in it. Or what you can do, and I've been doing this more so with this, is if you wanted to put this wreath on your patio table and put a candle in the middle of it and then let it grow during the summer, it would be great.
Amber asks, probably when you demonstrated how you handled the pin, won't that just snap off the leaf, keeping it in place?
No.
It's more of a gentle way to keep them from moving around so that they have a chance to root.
Right. And so let me tell you, probably till this gets rooted, I mean, you could hang it after it's rooted, but it's probably going to take a couple months to do it. But one of the things that probably will happen, you'll probably have a few of these die. I mean, not every single one lives. Or you might have a couple that fall off. It's just the way it is. This one's cool. This is, of course, my favorite. Chub.
Yep, chubby fingers.
Boy, I must have this moss pretty thick on here. I'm going to have to drink. And I'm drinking Leinenkugels tonight. All right. And you can kind of see, if you want to do the big camera up front, Lisa.
Big camera up front.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, bud. I got something else queued up. Let me get you going. Oh. Sorry. Oh, well, you know what? You're down in the corner. Just give me a second. I had something else going. Oh, now I gotcha. Nope,
See?
I don't. There, now you're big. Sorry.
Am I there?
Yes, you're there. You're big in
You
there.
can kind of see how it's looking.
Okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. And I'm just picking through this stuff. I got all sorts of stuff in this flat. These are really cool. This is I showed it to you earlier with all the roots on it. Now what I'll do with this is I'm going to have like a couple of them like that, and I'm not even going to make a hole for these. I'm just going to pin them to this wet moss.
Oh, Michelle likes the close-up. Thank you, Michelle.
And one of the things, the way to water this, I tend to just overhead water. Now, you can get like an old garbage can lid, and you can fill it up with some water and just set it in it for a little bit. And believe me, it doesn't take long for this thing to absorb water. Oh, see, look at that thing. That's what it needs, a pin, because it fell. Oops, let me see if I can get that. Come here, you little.
Carol Spencer said, looks good.
I've done these for, and of course, you know, the first place I saw this done was Martha Stewart.
Of course. Your girlfriend.
Yep, my girlfriend. So, yeah, this is tough. See, now that one I'm not going to pin, because I can stick that right down in there and that'll be fine. It's looking really nice.
Another
Looking
reason
pretty.
to have them root in on a table.
What's that?
Horizontal rooting in if you're just tucking them in like that.
Well, I made a hole.
is
I
what
just
I'm
didn't
saying.
pin it.
Yeah, yeah. Is this one for our table?
I don't know who it's for. That needs another
Can I
pin.
claim it?
What's that?
Can I claim it?
No.
Oh.
All right. Let me see. What do I want to put in there? I have this. What is this one called? I can never remember
Put it
the
in the
name.
camera, I'll look at it.
Cargyle or
Lampranthus.
Lampranthus.
Yeah.
I'll put him right here. And you know what I try to do? I try to, see what the different colors are in all of the succulents, and I try to, mix them, and so they play off each other. These aeoniums are really kind of red, so they look really good. Boy, nobody's got questions.
Well, you've got some compliments. Linda Sue Brown said, that is beautiful. Carol Spencer said, looks good. And Trisha Shuck says, oh, my daughter would love this. Linda Sue Brown, camera work is awesome. Thank you. Trisha wants to know again, where do you get the pins from?
I can get them in and we can sell them to you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we don't have that as something online you can buy.
It doesn't matter. We can, if you just message the page, we can get you taken care of regardless. Maybe we should put some up online. Maybe those wreath frames too. How many of those wreath frames are you sitting on?
Well, I've got some wreath frames already wrapped in moss that, we were going to use for a project party class.
No, maybe that could, if you guys are interested in something like that, just send us a message or give us a thumbs up so we know. We'll get that taken care of for you. Because it is a fun project. You can just sit around and poke stuff.
Yeah, and if you got some kids or whatever, it'd be a good summer thing for you to do with your kids.
Tricia said, yes, put it all of it online. Okay, I'll take that as a cue. Maybe a kit. Yeah, Michelle, that's a great idea. She said maybe a kit. I like that idea. We could probably get on that and get it up and running in a week or so. It's a great idea, you guys. We're just picking and poking our way through this online stuff. So any kind of feedback that you provide is really helpful. It really tells us what what we need to do.
And we're getting, like I said, we're getting another load of our annuals in. We've got stuff ready to go for the Sterling Main Street baskets. That's something I could work.
Jim Weiss. I missed that one.
What did he?
I start the bidding at 35.
That'll get you a wreath.
That'll give you half of it, yeah. Lots of cuttings in there. That's why this is a great project for you guys that overwinter succulents. Because you know you wind up with all sorts of cuttings.
And you can see how you can make it like on the side there. I like to go, I've seen the wreaths where they just do the very top part and they don't do anything on the side. I personally like to do the side too.
Oh my goodness. Karen from, oh my gosh, our vacation buddy. I'm going to put this on the screen, bud.
Well, I can't see it.
I'm going to read it. Karen Anchita Martinez. We met her and her family in Sequoia National Park. She says, will you do a video using sheet moss in a hanging basket with succulents? Hi from California. Hi, Karen. I think that's a great idea.
What does she want now?
A video using sheet moss in a hanging basket with succulents. We have all the materials to get that done.
All right, we'll have to try that.
I will put that on my little honeydew list. It's great to hear or see you, Karen.
Yeah, Karen, we
have the vacation. Holy cow!
We haven't been to Sequoia since we saw you guys because I think the one year, I don't know why we didn't get there. The one year, 2019, we didn't get there because we spent so much time in the Pacific Northwest. I know what it was. 2018, there was too many fires.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what's great about traveling. You get to meet really cool people, really nice people from all over the country. It's fun.
Trisha Shuck, I guess there's bidding going on. She's like, I will do 50.
You're getting closer, Trish.
Oh, gosh.
I can't even remember what we sold them for.
You guys are funny. It was either 78 or, I think it was 78 or 88. It depends upon how big they are.
Yeah.
It's just, you can see
it's tedious.
Labor intensive, and it takes lots of cuttings. But, and then Trisha seconds the basket idea. Let's see, where is that one? I'm not seeing that on this other screen. She says, yes, please, that basket idea sounds amazing. Agreed.
That would be pretty easy to do, really. I mean.
And then let's see, what else we got here? Stuart says he just bought 350 florist pins online for Doc. Oh, you're a good partner, Stuart.
He's worth something besides cleaning the toilets.
A couple more comments and questions. Karen said, we just came back from Yosemite. Always thinking of you guys.
Oh, man.
Well, we are thinking of you guys, too. Hope the family's well. Debbie Schumann has a question about project parties. Any plans to restart project parties later this year? I still have a credit from one canceled last year and would love to do one of these. Very long-range plans in a limited basis. It's probably not going to be this year. We're waiting to get all the way through
the vaccination
process. And but if Debbie, if you want to hang on to that, great. If you want to use it as a gift card for other things, great. We will take care of you. But the realistic projection or timeline on project parties, and again, Bud wants to do them, but we're going to do them on probably a bit of a smaller scale. But I would imagine that the earliest we're going to consider restarting would probably be 2022.
And one of the other things we're going to do is once this pandemic is passed and everything is quieted down, we want to do the markets like the Dixon City Market I know is going on this year. We're not going to participate because it's just too early to me to do anything, even though it's outside. We just want to be cautious. So, but I would like to do that. I'd like to do the Sterling Pop-Up Market, Sterling Farmers Market, and you know, we can. I would like to go back to the Quad City Flower Show and do stuff like that. I really enjoyed stuff, and that's one of the things this week I got to do, is I got to visit with people doing, you know, with the landscapes. You know, Jennifer Bachner, I got to talk with, and.
A couple more comments here. Let me see. Okay, Trisha Shuck says, my daughter has a lot of small succulents, and she has a tree too. Awesome. Yeah, she should be able to have lots of cuttings and babies from that. And then Susan Parker, she said, off topic, but tell us the story about how you both met. I like to hear it. How about the story of how you got your nickname first?
Well, that's because your grandma babysat me.
Yeah.
She said I was her buddy.
The way you tell the way the story I hear is that she was changing your diapers. She patted you on the butt and she said, "Oh, you're my little buddy." That's what I remember. Hey, Jennifer Bachner's with us.
Hey, there's Jennifer. I enjoyed
Yeah, we were just talking about you.
enjoyed visiting with you this week and chatting. So it's coming together real good. We can do another front shot.
Front shot. Oh, it's coming along.
So
Pretty.
anyway, I'm going to take a break, have a drink.
Oh, another question. Are you guys going to be making planters to sell at the hospital for spring?
No. We'll have planters. We're at the shop, but we're not doing anything at the house. I talked to Deb Keyshaw, and she understood completely that we just want to make sure that we're all vaccinated at DG, and the majority of the population around here that wants to get vaccinated is vaccinated before we do that again, because you know we like supporting the auxiliary there. We've done it for years there. We've done it at KSB also. We're just being safe right now.
Yeah, we managed to make it through this, well, a whole year.
Yep.
And no one has, in our work circle,
Our little bubble.
our little work bubble has picked it up. So we feel like we're in the home stretch, and we don't want to
Yeah.
mess it up.
Don't want to jinx it.
Don't want to jinx it now.
So she wants the story about how you and I met. Well, your grandma broke her hip.
Oh.
And Lisa and I knew each other for years because I was old. I'm older, and you know, I'm the older one.
I'm going to pop myself up in there so I can just like listen to you and make fun of you.
Anyway, and she would come over and visit at her grandma's across the street, who, you know, Mary was like another mother to me. I love her dearly, and I miss her every day. Especially when I pick vegetables in the garden, because I used to go over and knock on her door when she was older, because she didn't come out a lot, and I would knock on her door, and I'd sit on the front steps. I wouldn't, you know, wait for her to open the door and let me come in. I'd sit on the front steps, so I made her come out and sit on the front steps with me, and we'd visit and talk and stuff like that. But I always knew who Lisa was. I knew Lisa's dad and mom and her sisters less, but I didn't really know the brothers as much because they were a little bit younger. But then Lisa came back from Milwaukee and was nursing her.
She broke her hip.
Her hip.
Grandmother broke her hip.
Mary broke her hip at 91? 92. And, you know, like I said, Mary was the original Rosie the Riveter. I've got her hat. I showed it on here before. She was a tough old bird, boy. She really got back and was walking. I mean, she was back on her feet walking and moving around and doing stuff like that. And Lisa needed a job, and Well, she came to work at DG because she had worked at a greenhouse up north, and so we needed help, and that's how we met. Again, anyway, it came
Yeah,
back.
well, I remember you from when I was 10, and my brother was, or my mom was giving birth to my brother. So this is 75. And we went to Grandma's house for the weekend while my mom was giving birth. And it was the 4th of July, and there was, Delgado's didn't have the house there, and Dingus's, no houses were there. It was an open field next to Grandma's house. And you came walking over, you and Bill came walking over with, you had just like your whole arms full of firecrackers and bottle rockets and all sorts of stuff. And you had this shit-eating grin on your face. And I remember that like that was yesterday. And we had so much fun.
That was Hurlis's field. That's
Yeah.
who owned that. Was next.
Yeah.
That was that open field that we played in for, I mean, our whole childhood.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to the lady today on the phone from the tags, and I told her, I said, you know, we lived to be outside. I mean, we did. I mean, my mom literally had to pull us in because we were outside from the time we got up till, you know, we absolutely had to come in. And of course, we were filthy dirty most of the time too.
Got some more questions.
Sure.
Or, well, comments, really. Hold on a second. I'm looking at two different screens. Oh, Trisha must work at the hospital. She says we are giving a lot of COVID injections at CGH.
We're signed up.
And a lot of them are giving us the thumbs up. Thanks for their encouragement. You know, Jen Estes, love to hear you guys are being safe. Keep on. Health comes first. Yes, please stay safe. We're so close. All of us are so close. You know, trying not to, I was just talking to Larissa about that today, and both of us kind of have approached this in the same way, where we just don't allow ourselves to get our hopes up, because it's too much of an emotional roller coaster ride when we do that. So I was kind of giggling because we're both kind of approaching it and trying to mentally handle it in the same way. Let's see, we got one from Michelle Gillette. Thanks for doing this project. You do awesome work. Love to see what you are working on always. Have to go. See you later.
Wait, before she goes.
See you later, Michelle.
Michelle, before you go, this is one I did earlier today, if you want to put it on the big camera.
You've been on the big camera.
Okay, this is finished.
Trisha said, yes, she's a nurse at CGH. We are giving a lot. They will be calling you. Awesome.
But anyway, this is the finished wreath, you guys.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You want to, that looks an awful lot like your example. Do you want to show your example, and then I'll try to cue up a split screen for...
My example of what? You mean the one I was working on?
I thought you had made one.
I just held it up.
Oh, that was the one that was done?
Yes.
Before the one you're working on now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. All right. Let me try to get this queued up. So what we're going to show you next is what same size wreath looked like. Let's see, you had done that one in January, and we put it in our yard. It got too big to hang, so we put it in our yard in an urn. And that's what the same size wreath looked like, and that would have been shot in August. They get big, those aeoniums get big. So I got that shot split screen with you, bud.
Okay. And you know what you can do when they get that big and like it's time to come inside and that, trim them. And then you can, make another wreath or make something different with all the cuttings and stuff like that. Yeah. So, it's kind of like a recycling thing, and we didn't water that thing hardly at all.
No.
I mean, I don't remember watering it. We just it was in I had a little like rubber, it almost looked like an oil pan thing that you'd put on your car, but it wasn't. And it did have a hole in it so it would drain, but I just sat it in there and we just left it in there. And when it would rain, you know, of course it would get watered and stuff, but that thing just grew like a weed. It was freaking awesome.
Right.
I mean,
right.
no care.
You know, and you guys saw what the wreath frame looked like. I mean, there's not that much soil space, and to be able to, you know, get something that looks like it was grown in a container. I'll get myself out of here. You know, that just blew my mind when we saw that. And we thought, oh, that's perfect. And so we just flopped it in our urn because we didn't have anything to put in there. I got a couple, Trisha was saying we are in about the 70 age group. Jennifer says, wow, that wreath is beautiful. Beautiful wreath. Okay, and then Jennifer asked, how do you water the wreath? So you got that, right?
Yeah, you can put it, you can water it overhead, or you could get like a trash can lid or something and fill it up with a little water and set it in there. Don't leave it in there and just leave it in that, because it'd stay way too wet. And these are best not put in. Ours wasn't in the full intense hot sun all day. It was in, you know, pretty much a part shade location, because there, you know, like Lisa said, there's not a lot of space in there. And that thing, if you put it out in the full intense hot sun, it would dry out way too. You'd never keep it watered enough. The stuff would really kind of shrivel up. I think these look cool sitting on your patio. If it was like a covered patio, you sit it on the middle of your table, put a candle in it, and let it grow. You know, it just would be something that would be really cool. And people, you come over, it'd be your centerpiece, you know, that you could have for your table. Mm-hmm. I've hung them before, but most of the time now I've been using them like as a candle ring, you know, to do that. Or like what we did, Lisa and I just sat it in the urn and the thing grew huge.
Yeah.
You could never tell that was a wreath.
No. Nope.
And these cuttings that I have left, I mean, you know, I'm going to stick more in here and that, but these cuttings, you know, even if I don't get to this for a couple of weeks, it ain't going to be any big deal. It's going to be all right. Mm-hmm. But don't be afraid to recycle. You know, they're going to grow, they're going to get big, and, you know, sometimes you can trim it back and keep watering it, and then it'll start growing back out and be, you know, more smaller. But
yep.
Or you might have to take the wreath apart, you know, remoss it and that, because it'd be so many roots in there and stuff. But they root pretty good. They root really well. And we're having success. We're trying some different stuff. We've got some Hoya plants, which is a great trailing plant. And I stuck just on a whim. Lisa had trimmed one back and left it lay on the bench for about a week. And I thought, well, I'm going to see if I can, you know, root these. I've never rooted them before, you know, they were just pieces of it. So I stuck in some rooting hormone and stuck them into pots, and I could not, and I put them on the heat cart, and they've been there probably for about 4 weeks, and they had roots coming out. There was only one that wasn't rooted real well. The rest were rooted in that cell all the way to the bottom. So I transplanted them. I just want to see how they grow, and we might be able to propagate our own Hoya plants for. It's a great house plant, and it's in the succulent family. It doesn't need a lot of water, so they're popular.
Okay. I think we not catching any more questions. Brian Ead was being silly. What did he say earlier up here? I can't see it. There it is. Oh, bonus points for anybody that knows Bud's real name.
Oh.
Linda says, nice program.
What's that?
Linda says, nice program.
Oh, good. Well, that's great. Great. So hopefully the technical difficulties, evidently you guys said it's been okay, so we're happy that we were able to do this.
Yeah.
Being the hair pulling that was going on prior to us coming on the video here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't have a 6-pack of this done.
Yeah.
And I went over to my friend's house today to look, and hopefully we're going to be able to do set up the cameras and that, but we've got to build a 12-foot raised bed garden for him. And we're going to film it, kind of take some pictures as we're doing it, building it and that, when we go to talk about raised bed gardening. And then we'll walk you in our garden too and show you our raised bed garden made of stone. So there's different ways of building these gardens. And Mary Carlson and Scott we'll go over to their house and show you one that we put in about 3 years ago, and they're real happy with it. And it's a little bit different than the one we're doing for Mike, so it's fun. So, you know, doing this is one of the things that's always been pretty cool about this business. You're not stuck doing one thing. You get to do a lot of different things, even in the landscape. You know, we're building a raised bed garden, or you might be doing a berm. I went to the lady's house, Rebecca Campbell, and she was really excited about, she likes stone work, and she had some railroad ties. I said, let's take them out and build a limestone wall. So, you know, you're even building some small walls and different things like that. So it always keeps you guessing and keeps you excited about, you know, creating things. And we're going to do some pictures of some of the landscapes that we've done this year too, so we can show off. We've never really done that a whole lot, or really pushed the landscape end of it, because we keep pretty busy with what we do. But we're going to show you some pictures of what we've done in that. And
You got a thumbs up from Jennifer. Raised bed gardening, awesome. Yep, agreed.
So that's probably it. I'm not going to stick any more cuttings in this thing.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions you guys got, or anything that's going on?
Not that I'm catching on both of my screens, so I think we might be,
I don't know how long we were on tonight.
46 minutes, so.
Oh, wow. So it's about right in there, about 50. Has John said goodbye yet?
No, John usually sends us off. So I got my notes, and I've got hanging basket moss with succulent demo. Maybe we could try to do a close-up one of those, bud. That is kind of fun, and it's a lot easier to see how it's done when it's close-up like that. And
Well,
then,
maybe we
and
can
then wreath kits.
Maybe we can set it up, the cameras up in the greenhouse, and just do it and make a video of it.
Yeah, but I really like the close-up because, you know, if you're watching on your phone or something, you know, if it's really a close-up, then you can really see what's going on.
No, I mean that.
I got one question. How do you treat creeping Charlie? From Jennifer asks.
If it's in your grass, the best thing to put down is, there was a product, I don't even know if they make it, years ago. It used to be called Weed No More, and it killed the creeping Charlie really well and left the grass there. If it's in a flower bed and it's really thick and stuff like that, if you have any plants in there, maybe you could remove the plants and then, you know, spray it with a herbicide, you know, to kill it. Because, you know, if pulling it out, you have to get every little piece, because, man, that stuff is spread. You know, if all plants grew like creeping Charlie.
Okay. Another question. Stuart's asking, when do you want Doc to bring her baskets? They can happen now, can't they?
Yeah, they can bring them out.
Yeah.
Any.
Yeah, we've already started.
Even if we're not there, if you want to bring them out, just make sure they got her name on it, Stuart. Make sure she writes it so, you know, we can read it. I used your
Does that mean that we don't have you write it, correct?
Right.
Yes.
I used your dibble this week too, Stuart. It worked out well.
Stuart's like, correction, when do you want me to bring out the baskets?
Yeah. Yeah, just like we want you to bring the elephant ears out too, Stuart.
Vicki Horton says, would love a raised garden. Yeah, easy on the back.
They are too. Mary Carlson's, I think we might have did it. I know it's at least 24 inches high. We might have went 5 timbers, 30 inches high. Now the timbers that we're using, we don't use treated, because even though you can get the MSDS sheet from Menards or wherever you would buy the treated timbers, and it would tell you that you could do that, but I personally would not use treated timbers. What I did is I got oak timbers from the Kirkland sawmill, and these timbers were 6 by 6. I mean, when you get them directly from the sawmill and you tell them you want a 6 by 6 timber, it is 6 inches by 6 inches. It isn't 5 1/2 or 5 3/4, 5 5/8. It's 6 inches.
I think Jen Estes is reading comments and she's picking up Stuart. Stuart's been talking about this dibble. And Jen says, "What's this dibble I keep hearing about?"
Well, I'll have to bring, it's, Stuart kind of dibbles out the side of his mouth because he's old, and Marianne has to wipe it. Oh,
my
that's
goodness.
drool, sorry.
That's yeah.
No, a dibble is usually made out of wood, and they used to use them years and years and years ago when you'd fill a flat up. They're round. They'd be round and pointed, and so you just poke holes like this in each pot, and then you could take the plant and set it in there. So you didn't have to use your finger.
It's a really handy tool.
Right. Now, we have one at our shop that came from Swartley's greenhouse that they had made, that it's a big square and it's got little dibbles where they would stick it in a flat and they'd press it down and it would put a hole all at the same time in the whole flat. I'm not sure what kind of pots they had in that, but it was old and I didn't want them to throw it away, so I grabbed that and kept that. So
Yeah, we worked with those at Ralph's place back in the 90s.
yeah, the dibbles are. My dad had a dibble. I mean, Stuart originally made one for me, and then Lisa took it, so Stuart had to make another one for me.
I didn't.
So, and I'm gonna hide this one, so I get to keep it.
Chris Fiorini says, "Thanks for the creeping Charlie tip. It's been a pain for us."
Hey, Chris, I see you were posting pictures of Bike Week in Florida. Boy, that looked like it was interesting. Did you get to ride a bike down there, or did you just go down there to visit and see? Chris works for Harley Buell. Great artist. I wished he'd come on Sip and Trip for us. You got a good story, Chris. I'm putting you on the spot. I talked to your brother.
You are putting them on.
I talked to your brother this week, Tony. I was at their house looking at their back to see if I could help them with the landscaping on that. Once this is over, maybe you ride your bike down and we can have a beer at the shop, Chris.
Well, I think I've picked up all the questions.
Okay.
I hope I have.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you liked my wreath that I made. That's the finished one.
The beauty shot. Get that closer to the camera so I can see it. I got all these old eyes. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's full. That's nice and full.
Anyway, that's my wreath I made earlier today.
Aha, we have our cue. This is always our cue every week. John Sacchetti says, "Peace and love, both of you."
Peace,
That
John.
is our signal for exiting stage left.
We got to go exit stage left.
Yes.
Hopefully that cartoon won't be
Where's my
ixnayed.
peace sign? Peace, peace, peace.
See you guys. Thanks for showing up.
Yep.
And hopefully it went okay with the technology that we had.
Yep. All right. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Yep. See ya.
Let's see. Where's my thing? There we go. Let's put that there. We'll see ya.